All right, Bo, back over to you.
All right, guys, we're back. I hope that got your juices flowing. I will tell you very quickly here. Let me see what Cindy and I huddled together and decided we were going to do 4 this summer. We're going to do a 3-day in June, and that's going to be on setting up 10-minute Zooms like David Silverman was talking about yesterday. We're going to do July. We're going to do a 10-day one, which is going to be a product one. So Renew 28 and giving a prize for the most people, or the people that get the most people using product and journaling on the product and having product experiences. In August, we're going to have 2 3-day ones. One's going to be a core rank challenge. And the other one is going to be at the end of mid-month, early to mid-month, which will be 3 ways, the people that bring the most people on a Zoom or on a 3-way to get them to convention. Because when people go to a convention, they make big decisions, and when they see what's going on, what's coming up, and how the changes are going to happen within ASEA, they're going to get excited and take off. So that is us. Who's going to share with us what they came up with, please? People came off. Hey, David.
I'll go ahead. My main burst has to do with Director 300. It's over the course of June, and I haven't decided whether this will be for a new Director 300 on the team, whether it'll be 100 points or 25 points per week that there's actually, that the person's actually a Director 300. And then the sponsor of that new Director 300 is also going to get 50 points of product from me directly. So that's the overall goal. And then the sub goal is anybody who does a 3-way, going through the invite, sharing a tool, follow up with a 3-way. Anybody who does 3 of those per week will qualify for an additional tube of Renew from me directly.
Cool.
So it'll be for June, and then I'm going to, probably extend that, but that's the first step.
Yeah, I mean, we can always add on or change things. It's our business, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Anybody else? Come on, we all took 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Deb first, please. Go ahead,
Okay.
Deb.
I can see that to do a burst for me, the middle of the week is going to be when I feel like I can be the most productive. And I can also see that I need to work on specific details the way that you're both showing examples. But I know getting associates on a team is going to be one of my first. And I feel like I'm in a good position to do that right now because I have more customers who are starting to talk about product. But getting the goals that you're talking about, and then like David said, the sub goals, just to get those details written down and the people lined up, because I feel like I have a lot of names, but getting them, like writing them or getting their information together the night before, like you're talking about, or, just, I don't know, going through the names that I have. So I feel like I have a lot of work to do yet to get this together.
Yes, and that will make your burst all the more successful. I mean, understand, we talked about the warm-up, right? And what you're talking about and referring to is the warm-up, getting people ready. So on that 3-day burst, you're not starting to reach out to people. You're starting with 3 ways. You're starting with whatever the goal is of that burst. Bonita?
Yeah, so I figured I could do 6 short ones, 3 to 5 days, June, July, and August. And so the first one I'm going to do, and I already started, I did a Zoom this morning at 8 o'clock with Ireland. And so I'll be sending her some information when we get done. But I want it to be as many Zooms as we can do in 3 to 5 days. And I haven't decided exactly if it'll be 3 or 5 days. and then getting the information in the people's hand. And then the next one is I'd like to do both of those in Zoom's challenges in June. And then in July to do 2 more, probably 3 days. I like that 24-hour idea. That's kind of a cool concept. I have to give that some more thought, but you know, and maybe do that one to see how many people we can just copy and paste and get information, you know, ask them the question, you know, can I send you information? And then I don't know, I gotta work on this longer. You know, 20 minutes is not long enough to put your brain into this and get it going. But yeah, you've got me thinking.
Yeah, it's the old thing where we don't know what we don't know. So if all of a sudden you have a goal to work towards, you're going to be able to get there more quickly. Now, please remember, all of you, what we're talking about is you setting it up so you and your players on your team do it so that they talk to their players on their team. We're working on building multiplication and therefore momentum. Does that make sense?
And Bo, you know, when we first heard this from Eric, I agree with Benita. It took some time to marinate, you know,
Sure.
so I was like gardening and walking and, you know, sleeping and doing and having dinner. And, you know, it was kind of sinking in. These thoughts were coming in and I'm thinking, all right. So let's, you know, so you're right. It's going to start marinating in your brain and it'll come out. You'll start to refine it as you stick with it. But the whole goal of doing any of these campaigns is to increase the amount of conversations people are having. That's the goal, to increase the amount of conversations that are happening on your team. And so that, if you can give that picture to your team, it's not just about the amount of conversations that Benita is having. It's the amount of conversations that Benita's team is having. So if you have, you know, 10 people on your team, that might be 100 conversations, right? If you have 1,000 people on your team, you know, that may be 10,000 conversations. So think about the compounding effect. Think about the geometric progression. Think about the leveraging that happens when you're doing simple things that people say, oh, I can do that. So that's what you're getting going. It's this viral grassroots, you know, thing that happens and it starts catching like wildfire and you couldn't stop it if you tried.
Right. So one thing I want to hear from one more person, I hope. But one thing that we started doing, because we've been running around while this little 20-minute thing was happening, is get yourself either a planner or even better, just put together, you know, you can probably go to Google and find calendar for June, July, and August. Get them, put them out on your desk. I'm challenging you to do this today, these 3. And then I'm sure that this summer you guys already have some plans. So block those things out on the calendar and that'll show you where you can actually do these things, where you can do these bursts, whether it makes sense. Oh, I'm going to be at a family reunion for 10 days. I'm probably not going to do a 10-day burst during that time period, or a 3-day burst, or any burst, right? And I want to have a little time to pack beforehand. So if I'm doing a 3-day burst, it has to end before that, et cetera, et cetera. Does that make sense? So show of hands, who is willing to get those 3 calendars printed out and block out your vacations and appointments, et cetera, for today. And then you can decide where the space is to fill these things in. All right, awesome. I appreciate that. Cindy, I mean, is there one other person who'd like to share? We're past the bottom of the half hour, but Copycat Keith, jump on board, buddy.
Oh,
I thought you were waving goodbye. I thought you were going to share.
No, said raise your hand if you're willing to do the 3 calendars.
Oh, okay.
Raise my hand, I'm doing the 3 calendars.
We must be on a delay. That was like 60 seconds ago. Okay.
Bo,
Ruth
Yes.
had something to say.
Yep.
okay. All right. Oh, all right. I thought you said Ruth. Okay. So I have, you know, my people are like scattered around the globe. And so I'm already, it's so wild. I had my one girl in Norway. I had her listen to our thing from yesterday on Cindy's Facebook group. And want to get my other guy who's in Texas and Costa Rica to, so they're traveling, but you know, I want to get with them.
But what did you put down for when you
Well-
think you can do it? We talked about how many,
Well-
when.
Okay, so well, we're gonna Zoom already today to kind of figure it out for our groups. You know, we're gonna have a Zoom in in an hour and a half.
Ellen, as the leader, you need to figure out what you're going to do, and you then, you know, give your team the vision of what this is all about. You don't get on a Zoom and start powwowing about how it's going to go. You're going to say, here's what we're doing. As the leader, here's what we're doing. And then the people that buy into your vision, buy into your vision. You don't make it a cluster by getting on Zoom and
Okay.
discussing it with your team.
Yeah, it's not up for everybody's debate because it's your decision of what you're doing. Does that make sense?
Okay, and what I like is, you know, I like the thing about the, you know, Renew 28 and
Yep.
getting people to have that thing that you said, I wrote it down, and people making, you know, for 14 days, you know, writing down what they think about it. And then the core group, but also I've got to think about when to do
Don't
this and
think, just decide, declare it to the world and make it happen.
And but I
Okay.
think Ruth had something to say.
I know, let's go to, thanks, Melanie. Ruth.
Oh, hey, this was great exercise. I love all the ideas. My head is spinning. So I did choose 2 weeks this month, but what I noticed looking at my calendar is how much I really need to clear. You know, I do have things scheduled, other things. And so choosing the days, whether it's a 3-day or a 6-day, which I did for June, and then 2 in each of the other months, that are really focused with nothing else going on.
And just
So-
one thing to keep in mind is that some people's summer schedules do tend to be, you know, busy with family and travel and that kind of stuff. And so the shorter the challenge, the more likely it is to get your entire team on that challenge. Where the longer the challenge, if you do a 10-day, people are like, well, I can do the first 5 days of that, but then I have a family reunion, I have a vacation, you know what I mean? So just keep that in mind while you're planning your summer.
Oh, Rosie's jumping on board. Come on.
Okay, so I started a 90-day push on the 1st of June. Leatrice Lilly is on this call, join me. A couple of other people are thinking about it and not committed. And boy, I get into it and I'm realizing, well, you're going to a wedding in July and you've got things that you have to do here. And so this whole idea that I had was not well thought out. And Leatrice pointed out her own schedule, and I'm just thinking, man, this is just blowing up in my head because a couple of short bursts is absolutely doable. I mean, I've talked with one of my teammates and he's going on a float and invited me to go. And I'm like, oh, I'd really like to go, but I'm doing this 90-day push. And it's like,
Doesn't
Oh.
mean you're not going to meet people on the float, Rosie.
Yeah,
You
no,
could meet
I
people all the
gotta
way up and down the river.
I got to insert something here too, and this is something that's so critical. There are some people that think that people that are successful in network marketing work all the time. And so they don't want to go diamond, or they don't want to become a leader in network marketing, because all you network marketing people do is sit on the phone all day and do Zooms all day long and you know, whatever. We have to exemplify lifestyle. Because at the end of the day, most people don't need to be multimillionaires. They just want to have more time so they can go floating down the river with their kid. I mean, that's what they want. So Rosie, you're onto something here, and post it all over social media that you have the freedom, the flexibility in the summer to do whatever you damn well please, because you have a business of your own and you are practicing J. Paul Getty's concept of earning 1% of 100 people's efforts as opposed to 100% of your own. So go with that. Don't feel guilty that you're not working for 90 days during the summer when we've all been cooped up for 15 months. Celebrate the fact that you have a business that allows you to do whatever you damn well please. And I love the idea of doing it in 24 hours, 3 days, right?
Me
So let's go for it. And let's go have fun after that. Let's go sell
Okay,
it.
but in the same light, Rosie, you can still have a 90-day push and go on a float. You can integrate 2 of these a month in your 90-day push because there's a lot of warm up. You know, you got to warm up your market. You got to warm people up to get to that next, whatever that next 3-day burst is or 24-hour burst. Doesn't mean you just have to, when you're doing a 90-day burst, ASEA is top of mind for 90 days. Doesn't mean you don't go on a float. It doesn't mean that you don't breathe, right? You don't eat or something like that.
This is,
right?
this has been so enlightening, Bo, because I have absolutely thought if we were on a 90-day push, we couldn't stand up. We had to just sit here and, you know, not do anything else. So this is great.
And
Yeah,
plus, I
it
mean,
really
during
is.
90 days, you want to get up and meet new people, right? Not just sit there and cold call on the flip and the phone. That'll drive you out of your mind.
And the other thing is,
Amen.
yeah, the other thing is in 30 days, we have another goal. We set a July 4th goal. So this is the way you build a network marketing business. You do a 3-day burst here, you got a 30-day goal there, you got a 90-day goal here because you have a national convention there. So it's this, doing income producing activities in short bursts of focused time. And I remember Alan Noble saying, what I had to morph into as a professional network marketer is when I was with my kids at the playground, I put my phone in my pocket. I was with my kids 100% of the time. And then when I was doing the ASEA overview, my kids were in the living room. They were not allowed to come in the office because I was doing a focused half an hour of ASEA work. And then when that focused, you know, so it's be where you are, you know, and do income producing activities in that time, and then be with whoever you're with so that you're practicing relationship marketing or just plain good relationship building, whether they're going to build ASEA with you or not. You're a good friend because you're not, when you're talking to your friend, you're not looking at your phone because you just told your friend that this phone, this random network marketer, this random telemarketer, this spammy call or whatever that you're getting on your phone is more important than the conversation that you're having with your friend. So put the damn thing away and focus on the person in front of you. That's the most important person in the world, right? That's what what's that children's book? The 3 Reasons, isn't that what it's called?
3
That's
questions.
what
Big
that's-
questions.
the 3 questions, that 3
Yeah.
questions,
That's
right? So let's practice this whole ethos that we've been, you know, that we've been taught. It's not just blah, blah, blah in the background. It's something that we do, that we incorporate into our behavior on a daily basis. That's what makes ASEA different than all these other companies that, in my opinion, just don't make as much sense as ASEA does.
All right, let's shut it down.
Thank
though,
you.
girlfriend.
Thank you. Woo!
All right, guys, thanks a lot for today. We will see you on Monday. Look forward, or actually, Cindy and I will not see you on, are we doing Monday?
Yes, we're going to be here on Monday for the Power Half Hour,
Yeah.
but we're going to Mesa Verde. So we're going to drag our airs
Ooh.
for a week and we're going to delegate people to run this call next week because we are modeling lifestyle. So yes, you can build a network marketing business and have a life too. So we'll see you on Monday, everybody. Have an incredible weekend.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Great call.
And
Woo.
thank you.